Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video we're going to be showing you what it's like to live with a smart car in cold weather. As you can see, we're about, well, I think it was -1 degrees this morning, which is nice. I love this time of year. It's the 11th of October. We've got a sunrise down the valley there, absolutely stunning. Now obviously I could take the E39 as it's not defrosted, it's been in the garage overnight, but where would the fun be in that? And especially as this thing gets 56 mpg on the way to work, you know, it makes sense. So let's see if we can thaw her out and see how she goes. So my commute's a mixture of A roads, B roads. Oh, it's cold in here. There we go, there's life. 0 degrees. Got our little snowflake flashing there. Let's get it going. Starts no problem. Right, what we need: heating on full, on the windscreen, up like that, and heated seats, of course. The headlights on. We might get a bit of an alternator squeak. We've got a brake warning light because we're parked on a hill and the brake fluid's low. So once I go down onto the flat, that will go. Obviously do need to top it up, but yeah, so the little smart's alive anyway. We now need to scrape it off, which is since we've moved house I've lost all the ice scrapers, so we're going to be using a loyalty card that I never use. There we go. Rev settle down, a little bit of a belt squeak there. Only does it when it's cold, and it'll stop doing it in a second. There we go. Sorted. So I just need to, I think I probably just need to tighten that belt up. But let's see how we get on. Oh, thick frost today. And I've left myself 10 minutes to do this. That's pretty good. Very organised to me actually. The heater mirrors have already done their thing. It does this ticking thing when it's cold. You never get, this is only a 0.7 litre engine, so it's not like it's got plenty of cranking power when it's cold, but does well enough. Yeah. Obviously, there we go. Gone into sort of normal idle. Got the Smart Technic logo cleared. How thick that is on the front here this morning. So for those of you who don't know, this is a 0.7 litre 3-cylinder. We've had it for a couple of years now. It's a sort of a Mark 1 or Generation 1 smart car, because Smart don't really know what they were doing early on and just kept releasing new facelifted models all the time. This one came to us for just £1,300, no service history, unknown amount of owners, just sort of left in a dodgy garage in Birmingham. So we decided to buy it, of course, and it's had a few problems. The starter motor's gone out on it, which is an engine out job or an engine dropped job. We had a wiring fault as well, where the gearbox plugged in. That was a fun job. That was probably 8 or 9 months of sitting off the road, which is not easy to work on these things. But touch wood, since we've had those issues addressed, she's been running an absolute dream, and it's a good fun. We've had it remapped now to, oh, I've got a headlight out. These are a nightmare to change as well, the headlights. Remapped to just under 100 horsepower, which is great fun, but also actually improves fuel economy, because the gearing now makes sense, whereas before your 6th gear was really only for motorway use, 55, 60 miles an hour plus. It now applies at about 50, so you're running much lower revs at cruising speeds because you've got the extra boost. which is really handy because, like I said, all of my driving nowadays, my commutes, 20 miles, 40 minutes, is A roads and B roads. So you want a bit of something to get past tractors, etc. So it's looking pretty nice and clear. My hand's nearly frozen off, so before I lose my fingers to frostbite, let's get in. I'm not going to defrost this back window because it's a convertible window and it will damage it. So another weird quirk of these cars, the engine's in the back. You just hear it whirring away here. So it means the cabin heats up nice and quickly because it's actually in the cabin underneath the boot there. So here we go. Oh, seat's lovely and warm. Just what I needed. So this is our view out. Nothing out of that mirror. Decent view out the windows. So we'll get belted in. There we go. And I'll show you what this little thing's like to manoeuvre, because they're unique, shall we say. So here we go. Gear knob. Back for reverse. Over for driving gears. Now, this is sequential. Because this is a Passion model, which is the highest spec one, you've also got automatic mode, which you can do by pressing that button. I never use it, it's atrocious. So here we go. Clear in the mirror. So we're on a little private lane here, which is nice. And it's bin day today. Just get the old wipers on. So here, the temperature's still on nothing. We've still got the brake fault. So I'll show you now, before we join the main road, what the leaf fell on the car there. If I pull off now, knock her off, notice how when we jolted there the fault went away. Knock it back on. Oh, I left it in gear there, that's not very good. Start it up, all gone. That tells me it just needs topping up, I'd say. But yeah, so we're gonna start the commute now. The boot is perfect on this thing. Let me just show you that, because we've got time. Oh, it's because I left it in gear again. It's got a centrifugal clutch, so when it's in gear, it won't crawl along, if that makes sense. You see where the reg lights are. And here we are. So this is the amount of space in the back of the Smart. This being the convertible version means you get this nice little folding roof. Just got to be careful that this isn't too rigid, otherwise it will snap in the cold. But it's got everything I need. Got work kit, work bag, Bud Light, oil, spare oil, useful on this thing because it leaks at the moment. But everything you could ever want, really. And the handy little tailgate's funny. But yeah, she's a wicked little thing. So I'll get you mounted up on the GoPro. We'll hit the main road, and we'll see you guys in a second. Here we are. So I've got the car in automatic mode just to show you guys how bad it is. So it takes the car right up to sort of 3,000 RPM, which on, you know, cold weather like this you don't really want to be doing. I'll take it out. We're in fourth now. What a beautiful morning. Just fifth gear now, 50 miles an hour, and it's relatively comfortable. Well, my heated seat's gone off because I changed the thing. There we go, that's back on now. That's lovely. And yeah, it's just a lovely little thing to drive, really. We've got no power steering, so everything I do is absolutely direct. And it's perfectly adequate for driving to work, enjoying. You can't really go wrong. Obviously I wouldn't want to crash it, but that's not really the game. But what a stunning morning. Absolutely beautiful. I've taken this car, I think the furthest journey I've done is about 100 miles, including going down the M4 motorway. What else have I done? We've done up to Birmingham. That was when it needed the starter motor, which was fun because obviously I couldn't stop. Otherwise I'd have to push start it again. Mrs. DL and I push started it before I left home, and I sort of had to make it there without stopping. So that was funny. But it's a perfectly comfortable car. You know, I haven't got the best back in the world, and this thing's fab. The only area where it downfalls, I'd say, is over bumps and potholes. But you know, being a city car, it wasn't really designed to be hitting those at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. So if we just pull up this hill now, we can watch the speed. That's probably 25% throttle, so it's perfectly good. Into sixth. Oh wow! Look at that. We're being treated this morning. That's what I love this time of year. I'll go back down into fifth there because it's just absolutely stunning. Obviously we're very blessed with where we live as well, being absolutely beautiful. So, funny little quirks of this car. Radio's not working, it's gone into safe mode when I disconnected the battery, which is annoying. Air conditioning doesn't do much. It just seems to make the revs drop and make the engine sound like it's struggling, which, you know, on a 0.7 litre engine it probably is struggling. So that's quite a funny one. Other little quirks, obviously we get the brake fault. Oh, look at this black ice in the middle of the road as well. That's the only problem with this countryside here, is that, you know, you get a lot of black ice. The roads aren't very well maintained. There we go, here's the bumps. Oh, gorgeous, isn't it, out there? Absolutely gorgeous. What's it, 7:45 in the morning? It's a nice twisty road on the commute, but you see the Smart is getting up to temperature no problem, denoted by the blobs on the right hand side of that display there. Should be up to 3 blobs really by the time it's up to full temperature. But oh, look at that. It's like heaven. It's doing brilliantly. This is exactly what it's used for every day, and you know, for 1,300 quid, this £30 a year to tax, it's going to cost me more to sell it than it does to run it. I think the insurance on it's £200 a year for Mrs. DL and I. And for running backwards and forwards to work like this, saves the miles on the BMW, saves a fortune on fuel because it's twice the fuel economy really. It's interesting on motorways, it's not the most efficient because obviously you've got a small engine that's having to work hard against, oh that's handy. Here we go. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys obviously daily drive your smart cars in the winter? What's the coldest you've driven it in? I think I've managed -7 in this, and it was absolutely fine. It started no problem, warmed up a treat. Like I say, I think because of the engines in the back, it's very efficient at warming the car up, but also because it's so little, it warms up anyway. You know, it's such a small area that it takes up. Not like it's out in front on the bonnet. It's all insulated, etc. So yeah, well, thanks for watching. I'll end this video here, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.